Welcome back to another episode of the Ducks on Base podcast. We are back with our last current Duck. We're going to talk about leading up to the MLB draft in Cal Scolari. Um, he will. He is our top pitcher coming out of this year, and our lone guy to come out of the rotation. After last year, we lost Grayson Grinsell and Jason Wrights to the draft. But we'll let Fox start us off with this discussion.
Yeah, Cal Scolari came from University University of San Diego, down in San Diego, obviously. His draft grade last time was a 40 with a 55 fastball, 45 curveball, 50 slider, 45 changeup, but a 45 control. He came up with our new pitching coach. He had a Tommy John surgery in high school, and then he, as a redshirt freshman in 2025, that was his first season, and then he had a 2026 this year was his second year. He had a pretty good this year. He managed to actually be one of the best pitchers for Oregon. He had two really good starts before his last start against Texas, but that was just a hard series for the Ducks anyways. But he really came back after he got injured halfway through the season and missed basically half a month of starts when he got injured against Nebraska, and then came back throwing small against Washington, UCLA, and then had his real first start a month after his injury.
Yeah.
He's probably of the probably, as we said in the previous two episodes, he's probably in the middle of coming back. Of between the three, I would guess. Ryan Cooney is probably guaranteed to go. This one's probably a 75, not a 75, I'd say like a 60-40 of leaving, and it's a 50-50 for Maddox. The reason why I say it's a 60-40 is he's been injured over these past 2 years and really hasn't had a full, like, multi-year starting of success. And he'd only be a redshirt junior, and he'd be 24 when he gets drafted, which for pitchers is okay, because pitchers usually come up, like starting pitchers, but like getting into the MLB, like pitchers can be a little bit older than batters, because batters do have to play the field unless they're DHing. But I think he has, if he comes back, I think his drafts, my thought is that if he comes back, he can improve his draft stock more by having a full year of health, but that's always not guaranteed. So if he's really looking for the health aspect, like saying, like, I might not have that many more chances, that would probably be his best bet to go.
Yeah, I know. Going into 2026, Scolari coming in at Oregon was an intriguing addition, and obviously he's shown he's capable, right? He can throw strikes. His command does get wild at times. Obviously, we saw that in Texas, but his stuff is pretty solid. I think in the scouting report says he struck out. There's a 42% whiff rate on his slider. So that's solid, right? But I think, like Fox said, I also agree. I think it'll be interesting to see. There's not that much history with him pitching, obviously with him being hurt. But I think we also had this similar discussion last year with Jason Wrights. Not that much history in pitching. I guess it's slightly different because he is hurt. Wrights just didn't have enough history versus Scolari has a lot of injuries, and he missed, I think, a start because he was sick. So Yeah, I also agree. I think it's probably like a 60-40, like in between, where likely of coming back. I think it just depends on, obviously how teams kind of project his future value. I think, what do you think he's gonna stay as a starter? Would they build him, keep him as a starter, whoever drafts him, or do they move him into like a relief role?
I think he has the proof of concept to be a starter, and then you can always move him into relief. I mean, he's had like all these great, like he's had multiple. I mean, the issue with him has been command. He has the strikeout stuff, but like he walks a little too much, and then like he's not dominating with the strikeout stuff, which is primarily the issue. It's really like getting the outs other ways. Because he gets like 7 strikeouts, 8 strikeouts, which is really good. It's just like there's also the 2 walks and then the hits that come with it. Because mainly he's kind of also relying on BABIP a little bit, which is more capable with a starter. And then you could always improve the stuff. So I would say most teams would probably give him a shot at starting first. And then if not, then you have to try to like maybe get long relief in it. But really, I think he definitely has the stuff to be a starter and at least try it out. And all teams really need to try and develop a starter. So
I relatively agree. I think, even if they move him to the pen, right? Like obviously, like it would suck to use not suck, but like it would be an interesting way to pan out if you're an organization drafting guy, have him to move him into long relief or just relief in general. But he has strikeout stuff, right? His velo was up this year. I think when we were able to see radar, I think he was sitting not low mid 90s on his fastball. His strikeout, his slider is pretty good. So he has the stuff. I think if I agree. I think they'll give him a shot at starting. But I think it's just dependent on the pitching development system he would hypothetically go into, right? Like if he goes into a good pitching development team like the Brewers, as an example, I don't know. That's be a dangerous combination. But like, there are teams out there that are kind of not at the top of the pack when it comes to developing pitching. So it would be very interesting to see where Scolari lands and kind of how their history of developing pitchers goes.
Yep. Really, we'll just see. It was good to talk about all the Ducks, and we'll talk about all the Ducks that get drafted. There's also seniors that can get drafted, like Drew Smith, but really we want to see where they go first, and if they take draft eligible, undrafted free agent roles or something like that. And that's been what Oregon's players have done in the past. Like, we've had Logan Mercado was like indie ball mover. Drew Smith will be drafted. That is pretty much a certainty, but it really just depends where.
Last year we had Chase Meggers and Garrotti. They signed undrafted free agent deals to go to the Mets and the Rangers organizations respectively. Most recent name, Julian Hernandez, just went from indie ball to the D-backs as well. So definitely some late action can happen even beyond the draft. Undrafted free agents, that sort of stuff. So make sure to follow along. Do you have any final thoughts before we wrap up?
I think it'll be interesting to see. We'll do a season review episode over the next few weeks.
All right.